Welcome back to the allotment. It is the beginning of May and there's been a lot of change since the last time we took a look around, so I thought we'd do another tour today and then maybe we'll do one at the end of May as well, so we can compare the 4 weeks difference between the beginning and the end of the month. So you will notice that behind me here everything is netted as much as I can possibly do, and that is because of my chickens. Now there has already been some chicken disasters where they've managed to outwit me and they've got into different things. So my peas along there, they figured out how to get into that bed and they've torn up a lot of those. And there's a bed that I was so proud of, some kale right down on the end over there, and I planted it all and it was looking amazing, and one of them managed to find a way in and she ate it all. So that bed's not looking so great either right now. But let's go and take a look at them. I'll take the netting off as much as I can and we can have a little look at what's inside each one. So I thought we'd start here in my little mini orchard, and I'm so impressed with how everything's coming along in here. All of the trees are really starting to come to life. So I've got apples, cherries, pears and plums all in this little area here. My only issue with this area is the floor. I wanted to mulch it with wood chip, and I put a lot of wood chip down in this area, but unfortunately the hens have decided they really like to dig in the wood chip and they've kicked it all out. So I'm gonna have to go with a lot more deeper mulch on this area, I think, to be able to keep it mulched up high enough for the trees to actually manage to get any nutrients. So what I wanted to do was keep the grass down, and then obviously the wood chip would leach nutrients into the soil. So that was the plan. So I'm going to have to work a lot harder on gathering some more wood chip, I think, to be able to keep the hens happy and the trees happy at the same time. So this is the first bed in the row along here, and in this bed I've got a bit of a mix-up going on. I've got peas that are coming along here that are actually doing really nicely. I'll show you a close-up in a minute. And then I've also got broad beans. But in between all the broad beans I've got mixed in lots of different salads. Some of them are going to seed now. You can see this pak choy is going to seed now. I really have to get that out, but I've got lots more lettuces lined up. So what I wanted to do with this bed, my aim was to leave not so much empty space and interplant it as much as I could, so that weeds couldn't grow so much, and so that the plants could maybe fend off predators a little bit, because I knew that I couldn't have this covered because the beans and the peas are going to flower, so they're going to need to be pollinated. So it has to be an open chicken protection, but still keep out as many pests as I could. So that's what I've done with this. The beans are actually looking amazing at the minute. I sowed the beans in early January, I think, from a packet I had left over from last year, and that's the beans that are in this bed. So they're last year's seed, and they've actually come up really well. I'll show you a bit of a close-up now, but they're looking amazing. This is them close up. They're coming up super tall now, and they've got lots and lots of flowers on them. And then you can see just in between here I've got some red kale, some red kitten spinach, some red lettuces. These red lettuces, I can't remember what they're called, but they are doing absolutely amazing. I've got them all over my allotment, interplanted in lots of places, and they're doing amazing. And then if I turn around, these are my two peas. I think they were sown probably end of February, early March, and they're coming along really nice now. They're coming up on my crazy pea netting. So let's move along to the next bed. And this is the bed that's next to it, and this has also got peas in. But this one is the one the chickens managed to bust into. I don't have it as secure as I should, so you can see where a lot of them have been destroyed over there. And I have planted some into the ground over this side. They're not coming up yet. And another couple of sneaky red lettuces are just in there. So that's this bed that's right next to it. This bed here is my cauliflower, and it's my absolute pride and joy. I can't believe how amazing it's looking. I sowed these probably in March as well, and they've just lived in my polytunnel that whole time. I grew them on, so when I planted them out they were about this big, and they've just come on absolutely amazing. I just can't believe I've never managed to grow cauliflower before, and these ones are just looking so good. Hopefully they carry on looking good and give me lots of cauliflowers, but I'll do a close-up of this bed as well so you can have a little look. So it has got some more red lettuce interplanted in between the cauliflowers. Here they are, my beautiful cauliflowers. The only one that hasn't really made it is this one over here, which is right on the edge, so a bit of a sacrifice. It's been eaten, but that's okay. I've got plenty more. These ones on the edges have been eaten, but the ones in the middle are doing amazing. You can see some little sneaky red lettuces just hidden in between. It does need weeding. Do you know, I only weeded this the other day, but because it's been raining, it's just ridiculous. They just pop back up. There's some more red lettuce over there. And then we'll just turn around and I'll show you the bed that's just behind it. This is my dedicated lettuce bed. So here's lots of red lettuce again. I think it's Roden. I think it's Red Roden is the name of it. But look how amazing it looks. Look how pretty it is. So beautiful. So this is my main lettuce bed here. What I found last year is that lettuce grew really, really well in this bed until the summer. And then as soon as the summer hit, that was it, and it wouldn't grow anymore, and I think it was just too hot for it, so I had to interplant from then onwards. But for now it's looking amazing. One I forgot to show you is over this side of the cauliflower bed. Do you see up the trellis here? I've got 2 courgette plants this side, and I've got 2 courgette plants over the other side as well, and they are called Shooting Star, and they are a climbing courgette, so hopefully they will climb all the way up there for me, and then we'll have courgettes hanging all the way over. Fingers crossed. So this bed here, I haven't taken any of the covers off it because there isn't really anything in it apart from a couple of shooting stars attached to the trellis here. I did put in some courgettes that are down at the bottom, but I think it was too cold for them when I put them in. It was a couple of weeks ago, so they've died, but I'm not bothered about that because I've got lots more in the polytunnel waiting to come out, and they're looking really healthy, so I'll probably put them in maybe at the end of this week. So that's this bed, so there's nothing really going on in this one, but the one next to it, let me show you that one. In these beds here, this is the one that the chickens managed to bust into, unfortunately, and they ate all of this beautiful, wonderful kale that I had growing here. But it's coming back anyway, slowly. It's starting to come back. I'll show you a close-up in a minute. So what I've got on the bottom half is I've got kale and some more lettuce, and in between the kale plants I sowed in a row of spring onions and a row of beetroot as well, which are just starting to come up. And then towards the back there I've got some chard, but the chard's not looking very well this year really. I don't think any of my chards come up really nice, so I think I might have to re-sow that. Maybe I sowed it a little bit too early. And then the bed just behind here, that has got some broccoli in it. I've grown from seed. Now that hasn't been around so long because that was something that got eaten when all of my seedlings got eaten, and it's doing really well. I put it in there last week in the bed from the polytunnel, and I wasn't very nice to it. I didn't harden it off or anything. I just picked it up and threw it in the bed. And do you know what? It's coming on really nice. It's growing an extra leaf on it now as well. So we'll have a look at these 2 beds up close. So this is the end that the chicken's at. It's looking all right really now. They're coming back. It's not so bad. And you can see I've got some more lettuce. I've got a lot of lettuce to eat, but we do eat a lot, so that's fine. And then do you see I've got the beetroots just coming up here. So by the time them beetroots get bigger, I'll have this lettuce out of here, out of the way of the beetroot. And then I'll just turn around down the bed. More lettuces, more eaten kale. There's a little lemon balm plant in there, and then down the back there they are some parsnips that popped up again. I had my parsnips at the end of there last year, and they popped up. I pulled one out. I thought, I wonder if there's actually a parsnip there, and there was. So I thought, well, I'll just leave them and see how they go. There might be some early parsnips that are already there. They might just go to seed, really. I don't know. We'll see what happens with them anyway. They're not causing any harm, tucked away at the back there. And then let's go and have a look at the broccoli. So that's just over here. So these are my little broccolis. Here they are. And you know, they're looking really quite healthy. They've been in there a week, so they seem to be enjoying life. And then down the back here, after the broccoli, I popped in some kohlrabi. So that's a couple of rows of kohlrabi down there. And then some beetroot as well, just at the back there, that are in multi-sown bunches, so they're just thrown in at the back as well there. So this bed's looking really, really healthy considering it's been in about a week. It's had lots of rain though, so that's quite good. And then this bed's got nothing in it yet. I'm not sure what I'm putting in this one. This bed here, I'm going to sort that out this week for some beans. I've got some beans coming up in the tunnel. This bed here, I haven't took the top off it, if you can see inside it, but it's got lots of onions in it, and they're looking really, really good in there. So that's the onions, looking amazing. And then just at the back here, this is half of my potato city. So I'm still currently planting this. These are going to be my main crop potatoes. They won't be ready till a lot later in the season, but they're all in these old bags that I'm trying to reuse from compost. And I've been collecting everybody's bags from around the allotment as well, so I've got lots of these. And I'm just putting the potatoes in here. I'm going to earth them up as we go. So that's where I've got to so far, but my plan is to just go all the way down the edge there and round. And this is only half of Potato City. I'll take you around the other side and we'll have a look at the other half. So we've got a red currant bush there as well, and just behind it there's a raspberry just behind it. Let's go over to the other part of Potato City. So this bit is the back of my allotment. It's got a storage shed there where the kids keep some toys, and our planks behind here that we have to put down when the winter comes because it rains and it turns into a big bog. But here I've got my potato bin that we planted in one of the episodes that I did. These are coming on absolutely amazing. They're looking really good. So I'm earthing them up all the time, probably every other day at the moment because they're just growing like mad. So I'm earthing them up, and hopefully we'll end up with a whole bin full of potatoes there. And this behind me, these are all buckets that I got. Somebody gave me these buckets for free. It's that big. So I put a couple of potatoes in each one and put some straw on the top too. I saw that someone said that can really help with drainage, so the buckets won't get too waterlogged if it rains. So I've got some straw on the top, and some of them are already coming up. These are earlies as well, and some of them are already starting to coming up. So I don't think we're going to go short on potatoes this year. Fingers crossed anyway, it's all looking quite good. So that's this allotment. So let's go over and have a look at the second allotment I've got just over the pathway, and I'll show you what I've got in there so far as well. This is up on my second allotment. One of the things I've had to do up on this allotment is to start covering. You can see I've got some covers over here because there's a cockerel and a chicken randomly roaming around the allotments that nobody is taking any ownership of, and what they do is they come and hop into allotments and they just start eating everything. So I've had to start covering my things here as well as on my allotment, which is a bit of a pain, but never mind, it's just one of these things you've got to do. So this bed here is my potato bed. So it's got lots of potatoes and they're all coming up, which I'll show you in a minute. A couple of them have got a bit of frost damage, which I thought was potato blight at first. I got a bit of a panic, but some lovely people on Instagram reassured me that it's not. It just looks like a bit of frost damage. So I've earthed them up. Hopefully that'll keep them a bit more snug. There shouldn't really be any more frost now, but you never know. So I'll show you a close-up of this bed. So interplanted in with the potatoes, I've got beans and again some really nice salad in here as well to try and keep the weeds down a little bit in this one. So let's have a close-up look at it. Okay, so this is the bed. So the potatoes are in rows, and then behind them we've got a row of beans, some rocket, I think, more beans, some of this really nice spinach. This spinach has done so well this year, if I can show you. This one here, it's red kitten, and it has done so well. I've got some more on the go as well because I really like it. It tastes really nice, and it just looks really beautiful as well. And then as we go along, so we just got the same thing all the way along: potatoes, beans, and some salad mixed in between. I'll show you the one that was damaged that I was worried about was this one here. You can't really see, I've sort of covered it up a bit, but you see how it's gone like that. So anyway, I've mulched it up with some really nice compost, so hopefully it'll be fine. And then at the back there I've got some more spring onions at the back there and some more salad. That is this bed. Beans are looking nice. These beans were a later sowing of beans from a fresh packet, so they probably went in probably February-ish, so they're about a month behind the other ones, but they're looking really good and they're flowering. You can see down there they look quite big. Let's have a look at the bed behind. In this bed, this is the bed where I planted my cabbages. I've got a greyhound and a primo mixed in to here, and then I'm a bit worried about my cabbages. They're not doing very well. I put them out and they look like really healthy plants, but now they haven't really, they are growing, some of them are growing, a lot of them aren't doing very well. They're not don't really look like they're having a nice time of it, but it has been a bit cold on and off. They were fleeced, but I just don't know. I'll show you them up close, and then at the end I've actually got some of the kale that I put in the other allotment. I put a bit in the end here as well, and that's looking really healthy. So it's definitely not the bed or the soil, they're just not doing great, but hopefully they might perk up a little bit now it's getting a little bit warmer. And then interplanted as well, I've got some chard interplanted, some radish interplanted and bits like that. I'll show you up close so you can see what they look like. So you can see over there Those ones, I forgot to label them, so I don't know which way round they are. So I don't know which is the primo and which is the other variety, but these ones down this end don't look very good at all. They're not very healthy looking. Some radishes in between that look really healthy. And then these ones over this side looking slightly better. They've been a bit eaten. But again, this is the chard. The chard is coming on a little bit, but it's not looking great. And these are the cabbages. They look all right on this side, really. I'm being a little bit over dramatic about them, I think. And then at the back there you can see the kale, which is looking super healthy. It's been eaten a little bit, but they're looking quite healthy at the back there as well. This is the last bed that I've got things in on this allotment so far, and it was one that I sowed with the children's help, so it's a little bit crazy. We've got parsnips in at the back that haven't come up yet. So there's a couple of rows of parsnips interplanted with these rows of radishes that are just crazily packed in. They just threw a ton of radish seeds in here. So we've got radish, turnips, I think. And then I've got carrots coming up in between as well. So we've got a row of carrots, a row of beetroot and parsnips as well, all intersown in between. But we thought we'd get a quick crop off the radishes. I'm going to have to do a bit of thinning out of the radishes. I think they're a little bit over full, but they've all come up really well and it all looks really healthy. It's just a shame there's a lot of weeds come up over the past couple of days because obviously it rained and they love it when it rains. They just sprout out of nowhere, but it's actually looking really healthy. So that's what I've got in here, and then just at the back I'll show you my strawberry bed and what I'm planning to do with that, and then we'll head into the polytunnel. So this is the last bed. This is the strawberry bed, and what I've done with the strawberry bed is I've built some bean structures over the top. So I was trying to think about what I could interplant, and I asked for some suggestions. Some people on Instagram said various different things, and someone said beans might work. And I thought, you know what, I'm looking for extra space to put my beans in, so I built some bean structures next to the strawberries, because I was thinking by the time the beans actually get up the canes, the strawberries, they're already flowering, so they'll probably be done, and they'll appreciate the shade as well that the beans will give them once they climb up. So I thought that was a good idea. So that's what I've done with the strawberry bed so far. I don't know if I've interplanted. I think I've interplanted some coriander as well. There's some coriander down the back there as well that I've popped in along with them, and I'll probably put a few other things in. I'm sure some lettuce will appear in here at some point as well, especially once we got the shade of the beans, because I found last year the shade of the beans really helped the lettuce when it got warmer. So I'll probably do that again this year. I planted them all underneath the beans, and that made them really made them grow a lot faster, so I'll probably do that again this year as well. Here it is the other way around, just so you can see it. So you see all the strawberry plants are looking amazing. That one's got himself a nice weed, but there's a strawberry plant in there as well, and then the bean structure is just up above it, so that spans out over 2 beds, and there's some coriander there as well. These are the beds that I've still got to tackle. I haven't got to these ones yet because this is a new allotment that I took over towards the end of last year, so I'm working as best I can to try and clear the beds and get them ready, and I've been double digging all the beds that I've done, so I've still got these 3 left to go, but it's okay, I don't need them just yet. I've still got quite a lot of seedlings coming on, so I'll just do them as much as I can as I go. And let's head into the polytunnel and have a look in there. Back in the polytunnel. This polytunnel is absolutely bursting with life, and it's just magical. I absolutely love it in here. From coming through all of winter when I've had a few things growing and I've been worrying about my precious little seedlings and hoping they're going to do okay, to now I just throw something in a pot and it just comes up and looks amazing, which I absolutely love. So I think the best way to have a look in here is going to be for me to just turn the camera around and take you for a walk round. Because I have got everything in these 2 greenhouses as much as possible because of the animal that does keep coming in here and eating. Now I come up here the other night at about 8 o'clock, and I was looking over in the chicken coop that's just behind this polytunnel, and there was a rat in there, and this rat, I'm not joking, it was the size of a squirrel. I posted the picture on my Instagram story and somebody asked me, is that a squirrel or is it a rat? Because it was that big, it was massive. So I think I've got a good idea of what it is that's coming in and eating everything in here, and I'm guessing there is more than one rat because there's never just one. So everything has to be locked away in here. I'll link to the video below if you want to see the absolute destruction that they caused the last time I had everything out. But I have discovered they don't seem to eat tomato plants or chili plants, which is good because they're out right now. And I'm just crossing my fingers that they don't get eaten, because I don't know what I'll do if they do, but I've got nowhere to put them, so they have to be out. So fingers crossed they don't get eaten. So let's turn the camera around and have a little look, a little peep inside here, and we'll see what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to start here. This is just as you come in the door. This is the door here, and this is my chili section. And they're all doing amazing actually. There's a selection of hot chilies and there's some sweet peppers in there as well, all mixed up. There's lots of different varieties. This one doesn't look like it's doing so well, but you know what? One out of all of these isn't really a bad thing at all. So that's the chili section. And then if we move over here, this is Tomato City over here. Potato City on the allotment and Tomato City here. So these are all the tomatoes, and I've still got a couple at home that I've been looking after because they don't seem like very strong plants, but I don't know if that's just a variety. They're a black beauty, and all the black beauties all look the same, so I've just been nurturing them a bit. I brought one down today to put in. So let's have a look over here. So inside here I've got so much going on. So these are some tomatoes that I'm going to compost. I think they're ones that got a little bit leggy and weak, and I don't really have anywhere to put them, and I think if I make them outside tomatoes they're probably just going to die, so I'll probably compost them. And then at the back there I've got some purple sprouting broccoli, I think, over there, so that can go in a bed soon. I might just pot them up into individual pots first. And that's another type of lettuce, a Webb's Wonderful. Then I've got basil over here and some chive there. And then this is a Savoy cabbage there. They need to be potted on really as well. I've got some peas over here that I'm just picking from for pea shoots for salads. Leeks, they definitely need me to do something with them, and a little bit of extra Mizuna that could do with going out now as well. And then if we move down here, these are sprouts. I'm really having trouble with sprouts this year. I don't know if it's just the type of seed I've got, but they're not doing great. But I've got some anyway, so I might re-sow some more. And then over here I've got some herbs, some holy tulsi, red basil, some echinacea over there. They only went in the other day, they're not really doing anything. Some shallots that I need to do something with, put them in somewhere really pretty soon. And then down here I've got some violets that need to go in, some extra rocket, tomatoes, sunflower, some little cucumbers. These are some beans that are just starting to come up now, some Barotti beans, some lamb's lettuce that's gone to seed over there, some more beans down the back there, just waiting for them to come up. And then this side we've got lettuce, that's a Lola Rosa. Hopefully they'll be ready next week to go in a bed. Some sweet corn, some swift there, some dahlias that are just not coming up. One of them's come up, one out of all them dahlias I managed to get. And then up on the top shelf here, these are just coming up now. Some a few runner beans and some squash over there, and then more lettuce. This is red velvet, this one, so I'm hoping this one's going to be a pretty one as well. And then this is cucumbers in there. Let's have a look in the other one just over here. So if we move over, these are some potatoes that I found in the back of the cupboard, just some supermarket ones. I bunged in there and they come on really nice. Hopefully they'll be ready soon and we can see if we manage to get any. That's my carrots that I put in. They're not coming up. That was a couple of weeks ago, and I've got... And then over this side, oh, I've got some more red spinach there, and then this side there's another corn, some bantam. That was last year's seed as well, but I thought I'd just give it a try because I had some left over and they've come up really nice. I think I've got them all there. And then moving up, some beans, some purple French beans, and watermelons just peeping through. More herbs, more eyebright. This needs repotting, it's getting really big. And then I've got all my squashes, some Black Beauty cucumbers, and some more climbing squash there. Some Crown Prince at the back. They're all looking really healthy and they could probably go out soon really. And then just up the top there, more squash. You can never have enough squash. More mullein. This is some apple trees we grew from seeds that were just in some apples that we had at home, just shop bought ones. We thought we'd see what we could do with them, so we got 2 of them on the go. Some parsley that probably needs to go now, and some more peas that I've been picking at just for pea shoots at the back there. And these are just the herbs then. There's some mullein and some more eyebright in there. So that's everything that's going on in the polytunnel right now. I've got a lot more seeds that I need to sow, a lot more successions that I need to sow, especially of lettuce, and I got some more beans the other day delivered, which is good. So it's a really, really busy time of the year, and do you know, it's so easy to get overwhelmed, especially when you've got so much going on like I have, you know, and I'm so determined that I am going to be able to feed my family from this allotment this year. But it's a lot of work that's going into it, and do you know what, it can get stressful, so I'm trying not to get stressed with it, trying to relax with it a lot, and have some fun with it. But yeah, there's still a lot to do, so we'll check back in at the end of May and we'll see what the difference is between now and then. So until later, bye.